Good evening and salutations, my born and beautiful fans. uh, this episode, it was good, it was a bit of stupid, but all in all, I generally enjoyed it. Now, just to get into a little bit of the stupid part, Steffi still didn't tell Finn about the kiss, and now she's all worried because Finn was sneaky talking about the kiss and being like, oh, well, I had to change stuff and this, that, and the third. And the way he's sneaky talking about the kiss between Hope and Thomas is making her think that if she says something, then it's going to cause a problem in her marriage. And I'm like, okay, I said this yesterday. I literally said this yesterday. I was like, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna turn something which could be, hey, 5 minute conversation to making it a lot worse because that just makes sense. And the problem, my whole thing is like, she's a woman with 2 kids, right? She's old enough to understand that a kiss in general is not that big of a deal, especially seeing how she didn't initiate it. She didn't kiss him back or anything like that, but she's acting like she did. And so I would expect somebody of her age to be a little bit more smarter than that. But of course, they gotta sit there and dumb down characters to drive the plot. So now when he does find out, now he's going to make this a big issue because she lied by omission. Just so dumb. So dumb. But this is, in their heads, this makes sense. So you got that going on, right? Now, of course, I'm going to sit there and get to my favorite part. And I think everyone at this point already know what I'm talking about. That's right. Liam and Hope. You know, what would what made this thing so great was so many different reasons, but it was pretty much just how tongue tied that Hope was. That she was saying things where it was just like, what are you talking about? She's like, please let me explain. Oh, okay. I explain. We sit down. Should I get a snack or something like that before I do that? And he's just being really angry, right? So this whole time she just comes across like this babbling idiot, right? I know. The internet doesn't like Liam. Da 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 da. I get it. Granted, see, this is why for me, coming into this show with no huge attachments, no, I don't like this person because of that, I don't like this person because of that, I love it. I love not coming in this show with such a history to an extent because unlike other people, I don't have to sit there and jump on this bandwagon of me hating Liam or me hating Nick or me hating Brooke and calling, you know what I'm saying? Like, or me disliking the Logans, I don't have to actually come in with that baggage, and I love it. It's freeing. Whew. So he's angry, and rightfully so, right? I don't know, a lot of people is just laughing at him and thinking he's dumb and he deserves it, and yada yada yada. Let me tell you something, no one deserves to be cheated on. But I do believe in turnabout. No one deserves to be cheated on in itself, but I understand to some extent because he did sit there and cheat on her, and this is something that she brought up. Something that she brought up. She was like, "Yo, listen, I forgave you. Okay, I need you to sit there and do that for me." Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Sure, I'm assuming because people have told me that he's done it to her, and in that case, I look at the scenario in two ways, right? I look at it as, well, you know what? Listen, she was forgiven towards you. You need to sit there and be, you need to sit there and forgive her because she did the same thing for you. It's only fair, right? But I do understand human emotions, and sometimes fair isn't in life, you know? She can forgive him, but if he feels like that's too much of a harsh transgression that he can't get past, then he's entitled to his feelings. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, regardless of if anyone else sits there and feels, well, it's not fair. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. Emotions isn't fair. Humans and their emotions are not always fair, and they're not always right, and they're not always logical. They're messy and they're complicated. So I know people are going to sit there and be like, well, he better sit there and forgive her. He doesn't have to do anything. He could sit there and look at this and be like, nah, I'm good. No, I don't want to forgive you. I know you forgave me, but you're cheating on me. I don't like it, and that's just how it is. Is it wrong? Eh, but, good or bad, it is what it is, right? That's just how people are with their emotions. So you got that going on. And of course, you got bitter ass Taylor walking into the room, into her office, and there's a point where she's like, "Oh, I'm just so tired of this. I'm tired of this back and forth." Like she tries to shut her up, and I'm just like, "Bro, you walked in her place of business. Do you understand how out of pocket you are to walk in somebody else's place of business and start acting out of pocket like that and saying stupidness like, "Oh, well, my kid, my son, I was there to support my son." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you was there to support. Okay, how about this? How about you pay for your own flight? You pay for your own flight, and you wait behind everyone else like the fans are. How about that? You can sit there, no, because at the end of the day, I was like, no one can sit there and stop it from going. But you don't actually have to sit there and go on a trip with everyone else because everyone else works for forest of creation, and you don't. So how about that? I'm pretty sure some miles you want to sit there and use on your credit card. There's the fact that she was, when Brooke was like, well, the thing is, you don't actually have business there. And she's right. They're going back and forth, and, they're sitting there blaming each other for who broke the pack, and you did this, and you did that, and yada, yada, yada. And it just becomes this really tired ass argument, you know? I'm like, Taylor, you are whining and complaining about a man who, to be honest, you can do way better than. You can do better than. Why are you coming at her sideways because this dude decided to pick her over you after he was with you and he waffled over to her? But you want to sit there and be mad at Brooke? Really? How about you be mad at yourself for allowing yourself to sit there and be played like an idiot? And it's not like Brooke is any better. Brooke is all happy and ecstatic about a man who finally decided to pick her. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be smart, she's a chemist and stuff like that. She's beautiful and everything. But yet you are so happy that he graced you with his presence. Are you kidding me? Both of y'all in that room look like a pair of jackasses. And it's sad. It is sad. It is pathetic. And it is beneath both of those women. In reality. This is. When you guys sit there and fight over somebody to get their attention, it just it makes you look worse, and it makes you look pretty damn stupid and desperate, and a bunch of other names that I can't sit there and think of right now. That's what it does. Just saying. Um, yeah, the scenes with Ridge and Thomas and RJ didn't really do too much of anything. It really didn't. I'm always laughing whenever I see RJ there because I'm just like, man, hey, maybe they're gonna sit there and use you today. Oh, they didn't use you today. Okay, well, maybe they'll give you something good tomorrow. Maybe they'll give you something good tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe. If he's in the mood. If the writers are in the mood, they may decide to give you something interesting. I don't know. That's pretty much it. That's it. I can't really think of anything else that wound up happening. And as I always sit there and say, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all of them. BNB, Days, YNR, GH. BNB, GH, and Days. I always feel like I'm missing something, even though there's only 4 shows that's left. a lot about the soap opera industry. It's unfortunate. It does suck. Used to be a point where we used to actually have 10. Shows like Guiding Light, Passions, As the World Turns, My Children, and One Life to Live, and Poor Charles. There was another show. I think it was called Ryan's Hope before then. But my point is that we had an abundance of soap operas that we just don't have anymore. And there's a lot of times the soap opera could be so cheap that they got to sit there and start telling stuff instead of showing stuff. Like on The Young and the Restless. But some of them are making strides somewhere. I mean, hell, Rome was a vacation thing. It was a location thing, vacation location thing. And given compare that to the ugly green screen that they had when Ridge and whatever that chick name was that decided to go to Vegas, um, come a long way. I always sit there and think back, SoapNet, right? And not everyone remembers SoapNet. I always sit there saying, should have come back on again. See, the fantasy side of me wants SoapNet to come back on, right? Because it was just a magical time, you know? Such a magical time. And but then you sit there and look at the way that the landscape has changed. And one of the biggest things that made soaps, in some ways, obsolete, I do use the word some ways, is that back then soap operas used to be unique, right? You look at TV shows now, and every show has an element of a soap opera. A lot of different shows, even the superhero stuff, put a lot of soap opera drama kind of mixed into it. So with such a big sea of other shows that has the soap opera elements in it, what really makes them that much special? I mean, yes, aesthetically, the way that they're written, the way that they're told, the cameras and stuff like that, it does have a certain unique look to it, right? When you take soap operas at its basic core, you compare it to any other drama show. Where what's the show called? Where's the Heart at or something like that? That's that feels like a soap opera. That feels like a soap opera. Hell, even back then you used to have One Tree Hill. Yeah, it was a teen soap opera, but it was still a soap opera in a lot of ways. They just called it more of a drama because I don't know, maybe they felt like the word soap opera was like ooh, whatever. I don't know. It always makes me sit there and think about stuff like SoapNet, um, and just how much I want it, but how prudent is it really to actually have? Hell, that's like the saying, man, I wish they would sit there and bring back As the World Turns. It's like you want it, but is it enough incentive to actually really get that ball rolling? I remember Vanessa, I think the chick that was on General Hospital, that one I played Brenda, she was meant to try and bring back a soap. She was, you know what I'm saying? Like she was trying to bring back a soap, and I think she might have been on a soap, I don't know. But it makes you sit there and think. That's why sometimes whenever I sit there and they have a really good episode of whatever it is, I will sit there and champion the hell out of it. I will praise it because you need a win. Okay, you need a win. You need enough wins to sit there and kind of keep this show going. And if they ever decide they want to bring back a soap opera, you need those wins. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. But come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I love the fact, and I'm gonna sit there and say I love the fact that I am getting some B&B people to come into the live stream. Because again, Love my GH, really do. I feel like GH for me personally is probably the um, most popular in the live stream, and hell, it's the most popular in the views as far as my reviews. I mean, hell yeah, there was one point where oddly, BNB was towering over GH in my views. Even I kind of sat there and I was like, hmm? But I don't know. So yeah, I'm really thankful that people are coming in and talking about BNB in these live streams because it's just great. I love to sit there and talk about BNB, just like I love to talk about YNR. Which I did watch. I'm not going to sit there and do a review on, so we'll sit there and talk about that as well because we got some stuff to talk about. All just bad. That woman is bad. That woman is like curves on curves on curves in all the right places and then some. And yet I do feel bad for Summer, but we'll talk about that more in a live stream tonight. So you definitely want to come through for that. And on the weekends, we're gonna get into it. Gonna get into it. Sit there and say that much. We'll get into it. And if you're not a member, hit the join button, become a member. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.